Today I was out getting ingredients for some chili since we're doing a little winter storm circa February 2019, and I thought, it'd be really good. Something quick and easy, something that I make all the time, a pepper wrap. I'm vegetarian, so I still do the cheese, but this is super easy to do. If you don't worry about skinning the peppers, it takes like 10 minutes, no big deal, which is fantastic, especially during the week if you work doubles or whatever, So this is what I got going on today. And let me tell you, the roundup we've got. So yes, I'm going with a 3-pepper queso wrap. We'll call it that. I did a jalapeno pepper, half a bell pepper, and about 1/3 of a poblano. It's kind of dicey. I was out getting chili stuff anyway, so I'm going to use what I have left with that. But poblanos, you can't really get a small boy. So like I said, I had those 3 peppers. Jalapeno is going to be delicious. I did this on a grilled cheese about 3 weeks ago, and I really enjoyed it. So figured, why not, man? I do wraps all the time anyway. I found out broiling is like the best thing ever when you're in a hurry. So we'll be using that. With those peppers, I just, de-seeded them, made sure they were kind of laying as flat as possible. So maybe score them a little bit, put that into a pan with about a teaspoon and a half of butter. Teaspoon and a half of butter in there with a little bit of Mesquite liquid smoke. I did a little nutritional yeast seasoning, sort of a salty garlicky thing, and some kosher salt just in case it needed a little bit extra. Cook those on pretty low heat until they soften up. You're going to hear them sizzling. You're going to see them browning a little bit. Once you see the skin sort of like the opposite of one of the TNG movies. So you know how they like rip your face back in those movies to make you look young again? You want the opposite of this. You want your peppers to look old. You want them to look like they were on the Titanic as far as years go. And once you get that, put them in a little ice water bath just for a few minutes. If they're soft enough and cooked long enough, you'll be able to peel that skin right off. No big deal, snake style. I love it. Once those are good to go, I just set them aside, took them off, and chopped them up a little finer. I like little baby pieces in wraps. Big pieces tend to rip out, sort of like when you have a shitty onion ring and all the onion comes out. As far as the wrap part goes, I just use a burrito-sized tortilla. I went flour. You could do corn if you want, but the flour tends to be a little more malleable for me. So with that, I put a little bit of tomato paste on there. How much did I do? About 1.5 teaspoons of tomato paste. Just a nice layer. I don't like it too thick. And with that, I used about 2 ounces of queso. Really, I just wanted thin strips covering most of it. If there's a little bit of sauce showing, that's all right. And while I did this, of course, I had preset in one of my ovens, because I have a 2-compartment oven to high broil. So that way it's nice and hot. That way, you're going to be able to wrap it still. It's not going to fully bake your tortilla, but you got to watch your shit, because, man, it takes like 1.5 minutes. So you got to make sure it doesn't completely burn. I've done that plenty of times. But it's not a huge deal if you do that. That's the easier thing to remake, right? So, like I said, I got that queso on there. Once my peppers were done, I popped that tortilla with the paste and queso into the oven. Basically, you're making like a super thin pizza, because who couldn't eat pizza all the time? But yeah, so maybe 2 minutes tops on that. You're going to be able to tell. Basically, once this cheese starts to bubble and you see the edges of the tortilla on the top part brown a little bit, you want to pull that out, because, man, it takes another minute and it can be completely burnt. So make sure you do that shit. And once it's out, you just toss the peppers in there and wrap it up, man. Cut it down the middle, and that's what we got here. I'm pretty stoked. I put a little lemon garnish. We'll see if I want that or not. I'm honestly not sure. A little soy sauce might be really good on this. So that, yeah, if you can get it down pat, easy, like 10 minutes right there. The longest it's going to take you is cooking the peppers down, but you can do so much more in the middle. So let's try this fucking thing, man. It's sort of savory. It has a fleshy component too, which is delicious. And I love doing jalapenos that way, because fresh, they aren't bad. Poblanos, I can eat those fresh all the time. If you're doing guacamole, which would also be good with this, put poblanos in there, man. Don't even think about it. Delicious. I want to put a little lemon on here, though, because what I'm getting is nice. It's not too cheesy, not too much tomato, not too much pepper. With wraps, I like a really nice mix, and I like them to be, I don't know, as mixed or as consistent from bite to bite. I feel like a lot of times, especially if you get your Taco Bells, your cheap food, I mean, they're making those quick, so they roll them up and you end up with, you know, your fucking rice in the bottom and then like sour cream in the middle and then like beans up top. And you're like, are you fucking kidding me? This isn't how wrap works. We can do better, even if you're on your lunch break. Okay, so definitely put a little lemon on there. It's going to make the freshness pop a little bit. Man, I mean, it works with the tomato paste, obviously, to kind of complement each other. Oh, man, that's nice. So, yeah, this is perfect if you're in a hurry and you need to, you know, if you're home for 20 minutes, bada bing, pop this boy out and keep on rocking, man. Maybe a little baby spinach in there or on the side. I like a little spinach on the side, so, no. Thanks for watching me eat. You should try this out. I just happened upon it.